Alright, we're walking over to the gym now. A little cold, got colder than it was before. But I wanted to talk about real quick. I am tired. I was noise. Sometimes I never know what I feel like I'm hearing outside. But anyway, I wanted to talk about, this is one of those nights where I'm just not feeling it whatsoever. I was laying in bed. I'd rather stay laying in bed. I'm tired. I'm sore. Definitely a lot more sore than usual, which is going to suck tonight for doing squats because my legs are definitely already sore. But, it is what it is. I basically fought with myself to get out here. Once I start my rotation, I really don't like to interrupt it because it makes it too easy to get out of the groove. So I like to stay in this groove, keep working out. But yeah, it was definitely hard. Like I said, I'm tired, rather stay in bed. I'm sure a lot of people feel like that. And that's the mental struggle of it sometimes is, it's just fighting yourself. At least for me, is like fighting your mind to make sure and you go and get this done because it's hard. I mean, for some people this is hard. Some people this is really easy and they don't have a problem with it. For me, I'm not that person. It is hard. I like the benefits of it, but I'd rather be doing something else personally. But, it's whatever. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to do this workout, get it done, and, I'll see you guys inside. Hello and welcome to my channel, all you fitness lovers and non-fitness lovers. More so that's myself, a non-fitness lover. But we still want to get it done and still look good. So there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to love fitness to do it. So it definitely would help a little bit more. But let's get into the first set of exercises. This is a tricep, abs and squats day. And we are starting with some dips, and we are supersetting that with the close grip dumbbell bench press. So dips aren't looking too bad. A little bit work to be done. Got to keep the body a little bit more upright, and the close grip bench press isn't looking too bad. Definitely want to make sure you don't flare those elbows out. You want to keep them kind of tight to your chest as opposed to flaring them out. And like I said, overall it doesn't look too bad. The second set looks a little bit better than the first set, but I've tried to shorten these videos down for you guys a little bit as best I can with some editing. So as I learn, I'll probably get a little bit better. Trying to combine these into one, so it's just not like each thing, but you can still see everything that I'm doing. The whole idea is that you can actually see me go through a full workout. And that was kind of the idea behind this whole thing. But, not looking so bad. Triceps is, I think I have decent triceps. But I could still do a little bit better. Dips is always going to take me a little bit of time to do, but it's coming along. So then we're going to move into our first ab exercise, which is, a plank knee slide with the resistance band. And this could honestly look a little bit better. I need to keep my body a little bit straighter. This is a little bit newer of an exercise. I haven't been doing this super long. Maybe I shouldn't do it with the resistance band. Maybe I should. I don't know. When I did it without the resistance band, I didn't really feel it as much. Maybe that's just me. I could always try a different resistance band, but I think I just need to. I don't like holding. The thing that bothers me about this exercise is, holding my body up for a long period of time on my wrists. It actually just hurts my wrists more than anything else. I think I have, my wrists are not great. Maybe if I had some wrist straps or something like that, it'd be better. But I've had issues with my wrists for a long time. I notice it on things. So when I get into this position, it just kind of kirks them a little bit, or I don't know a good word to say that. It just makes it uncomfortable for me to do the exercise. But that doesn't mean I couldn't have better form on this, which is I definitely need to stay a little bit straighter when I'm doing this. I'm a little bit bent too much. I need to be in a better, straighter plank position. But things to see and things to improve on, and that's just part of going through this whole thing and evaluating yourself as you do stuff. But I'll try to work on that in the future and then move on from there.
never thought I'd feel like this. Yeah. I never thought I'd feel like this. Ooh, never thought I could. Yeah. I never thought I'd be on my shit, be on my. I'm spending my time in love like I should. No more struggling, I'm all good. Yeah. I never thought I'd feel like this. Feel like, feel like this. Feel like, I never thought I'd feel like this. Feel like, feel like this. Feel like, I never thought I'd feel like this.
Coming into our next tricep exercise is going to be a flat bench dumbbell tricep extension, with this resistance band. So, again, I talked about it before. It's obviously kind of a unique exercise. Setting this up isn't, and you'll see me talk about it in a little while, is definitely like setting it up is always a little bit interesting. I think I've got it mostly figured out, so it doesn't take a lot of time. And then just trying to figure out where to kind of place, the whole thing with using bands is the tension, is making sure you kind of have tension all the way through, and not so much that like you can't move like you can't move, like sometimes depending on like where the band is, like if you extremely shorten it, it doesn't want to stretch sometimes. So I know that sounds more complex than it needs to be, but it's really not. Like, I just prefer, I don't know why, I just like doing these. It's like the added benefit of having the like a cable machine with I don't have a cable machine to do some of this stuff, so that's why I created some of these things. I'm sure I'm not the one who created it, but in my mind maybe I did, but because I don't see a lot of people doing some of this stuff, but I like it, I enjoy it. Like I said, I could get better at it. Definitely some, just some, it's going to take some time for me to really get the form on some of these exercises, especially like this one. I mean, I'm looking at it, I could be a little bit better with where my arm placement and stuff is, but again, something to work on in the future. But I really do like the exercise, so I'm going to leave it in, and I'll just work my form as time goes on. It's not when I look at it on the side, it doesn't look as terrible. So again, everything could be better, but that's just the way it is. It's not going to stop me from doing the exercise, but I definitely will, like I said before, evaluate and see if I can make a little bit adjustment here or there. I think I might need to make an adjustment where the weight is, but that's really it. But a good exercise worth trying if you want something new or want to try something different. You could also do this without the weight. You could just do this with bands. If that's all you had, it would work really well as well. So something for you to keep in mind.
I never thought I'd feel like this. Ooh, never thought I could. Yeah. I never thought I'd be on my shit, be on my. I'm spending my time in love like I should. No more struggling, I'm all good. Yeah. I never thought I'd feel like. Feel like. Feel like this. Feel like. I never thought I'd feel like this.
All right, so for that last set, I kind of backed it off a little bit. I had started with the 25-pound weight and was then, I started with the 25-pound and then moved to the 20-pound weight just because I'm kind of between weights right now. So that kind of allows me to feel that heavier weight. I think I talked about this in an earlier video, but I think for that last set, I just went down to that 20-pound weight so that I could try to focus a little bit more on the technique. And I was already a little bit tired, so that tended to help me a little bit. It just seemed that I was struggling in those first two sets, so it made sense to just kind of bring down that weight because I didn't think I was doing as good a job of controlling it. But I think that's also partly because I had the band set up so well with this time. And you can see is, so what I've done with the band, again, you don't have to set this up. This is just how I prefer to do the exercise now. I used to do it the other way without it. But I have it wrapped around once and tied into a knot. So you wrap it around, tie it in a knot, and then you wrap it one more time, feeding it through. And I think this time when I did this, because I had so I'm kind of looking for a length that's pretty close to the bench, so that this way you have tension, because once you drop down here, you don't really have any tension. So somewhere in this range is pretty good. And I think because I had this set up pretty well, that it was fatiguing me a little bit more than usual. So that's probably part of it, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to drop the weight a little bit and just go from there. Okay, we are on to our second exercise with the ab wheel roller thing here. Actually, after making this video, I went and looked at another video to see if I was doing this correctly. See, like, that's kind of the cool thing about doing some of this stuff, and I hope this helps people, like kind of going through all this and trying to figure it out. I mean, not that I haven't been working out for like a long time off and on, but you should always be kind of making sure, you're doing things correctly to some level, or just doing a little bit of research and making sure you're on the right path. I mean, the problem is that there's so much misinformation out there, like what's right and what's wrong. But I watched a really good video. It was an older video. I can't remember who it was from, like the Mind. I think it was Mind Pump, they're called. I think I've seen their stuff before. I think they have a podcast, but they had a really good demonstration with this ab wheel roller. If I can go back and find it, I might try to put it in the description. I'm gonna take what they put in their video and probably try to implement what they were doing. I thought the guy's description was really great about it, and it made really good sense, and he was doing a really good job at it. So, something to keep in mind. But because this is an interesting exercise to do. It's definitely hard if you're doing it. I mean, I'm obviously, based on what I saw after that video, I'm not doing it as correctly as I could be. So, I mean, I definitely do feel it in my abs, but I think, the way he explains it is just way better. And like I said, I'd probably throw that in there because that'll give you a good, I'm going to use that going forward and see how it, changes things. Because I think it was just a really good video. So that's just my take on it.
You've been lost and alone in the city of lights, I know. Getting hot, feeling low, and it's out of your control. You should know that I won't leave you. I'll stay beside you. I'm never letting you go. You've been lost and alone in the city of lights, I know. But I will guide you home. But I will guide you home.
Coming into our final exercise for triceps, doing the one arm tricep machine extension. And then obviously I've kind of put some of the stuff where you can start to see me stretching or kind of warming up to do squats, which is my personal preference. But just doing the one arm tricep extension. I mean, some of this is probably a little bit overlap from what we were already doing, but like I like to do three. I like to do 3 to 4 exercises on my arm days. Usually one is a superset and then just 2 others. Again, it's less workload than I would do on like my major muscle groups, but this is just how I have my routine set out. But nothing really fancy here. This is getting a little bit better for me now that I'm getting slightly more used to the movement of the machine. There's nothing wrong with machines if that's what you have. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a beginner, nothing wrong with machines at all. There's the machines still work. Dumbbells. It's your preference on what you want to use, and you can use a combination of both is probably the best. So that's kind of what I do. Is I have the machine, I use it. It's again, it's a little bit it's just there. It's a little bit easier sometimes to speed up a workout. And if a machine feels do what kind of feels good to your body. That's kind of how I like to think. If it feels good, go with it. And this one is pretty decent, so that's why I throw this in. I used to do like the rope pull down stuff, like I said, and I'll vary it up here and there. So this probably won't stay forever, and I'll kind of move back and forth between some things. But like I said, for right now, this is what's working for me. And then, like I said, we're just starting to warm up the lower back here a little bit before we go into the squats.
You've been lost and alone in the city lights, I know, getting hot, feeling low, and it's out of your control. You should know that I won't leave you, I'll stay beside you, I'm never letting you go. You've been lost and alone in the city lights, I know, but I will guide you home. They say that love is blind, but I never trusted sight. When I turn and look inside, there's nothing I can't find. In the silence of the night, when my demons come alive, I hear a voice disguised, telling me we're not alright. You're always on my mind, on my mind. You're always on my mind, on my mind. One taste, you can't get enough. One kiss, you feel my love. One taste, you can't get enough. One touch, you feel my love. One taste, you can't get enough. One kiss, you feel my love. One taste, you can't get enough. One touch, you feel my love. They say that love is blind, but I never trusted sight. When I turn and look inside, There's nothing I can't find in the silence of the night. When my demons come alive, I hear a voice disguised telling me we're not alright. You're always on my mind. On my mind. You're always on my mind. On my mind. One taste, you can't get enough. One kiss, you feel like my love. One taste, you can't get enough.
Okay, so I did that with the 2 plates and the little accessory plate that dropped down. I also put the seat on 5 this time to try it out. I didn't have much hand pain whatsoever, so I think all worked out pretty well. So now it's time to do squats. Ooh, yay, I'm so excited. Not. So we have made it to the leg portion of this workout, which is going to be squats. And this is definitely a difficult day for me. I think I talk about that later in the video, but yeah, squats. I mean, there's not much else to say. These are, I'm doing front squats here. There's multiple names that these go, but I'm saying this is kind of like a front squat. It could be, you could do this as a goblet squat where you hold the dumbbell, but just one dumbbell between your legs. Again, I'm doing this with, these are two, I was switching between weights here between 40 and 40. I had been working in 45-pound weights. So the issue with this is holding that much weight. There's a lot of, you got to use your core a lot to do this. And it makes this exercise a lot harder to do correctly. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's also not bad. So, and I do like to use the, like a box or something underneath, kind of have a spot where I like to know where my butt touches, which is pretty close to 90 degrees for me. So that's just the way I like to do it. I like having that kind of marker point, knowing like that I'm in the, like at the right spot to, to start going back up. So that's just me personally. Again, this is, with this much weight on a dumbbell, because it's not on a bar, which is sometimes a little bit easier to hold depending on what kind of grip you use. Would make it a little bit easier. So the dumbbells just, I'm trying to rest it on my shoulders, but I have since, you probably see another, maybe 1 or 2 more videos where I'm doing squats, but I kind of took it out of my program and replaced it with something else so that I'm not doing squats twice a week. So that'll be something to look forward into the future. But yeah, squats is just, it's not my favorite thing. With some of my issues that I have in my hip and stuff like that, it's not a great exercise. I mean, as far as it's been better for me as far as like feeling wise, and it can be a little bit painful for me sometimes, which it shouldn't be. And also just holding this much weight on an arms day is, I think, harder for me more than anything else, because I can't actually work my legs the way that I wanted to, because my arms start to give out a little bit more before than my legs do. Again, holding that much weight is really kind of the limiting factor here. So, but again, it's still, today, this was definitely a hard workout, definitely felt it in my legs. So, I mean, it is a good exercise. I don't think that you should, completely get rid of it. It will still be squats will still be in my routine. So, and then obviously to finish up, we have our exercise bike that I always like to throw in there to, to prove that I actually did it. I actually do cardios on my off days. I just don't have it posted, but I do cardio. Like I do my lifting and then I do my cardio. So like a lifting day, cardio day, and then just vice versa until, I finish out a rotation. But that was it for, that's it for the regular squats. And then we will, then I do the plie squats at the end. Again, that's a little bit more inner thigh stuff. You can do, you cannot do. It's just a different variation. You can see I'm here now, just the plie squats. I mean, I'm not a very flexible person, so, I'm a little bit limited on this. And again, I have a hip issue which kind of limits me a little bit more. But I still do them because, again, I like to work, different segment of that muscle group. So we do 3 sets of the regular, and then we do 1 plie, and then that's it for legs for today. Um, and then we finish out with our last ab exercise. Into our last exercise movement or ab movement for the routine is going to be the reverse squat, an ATG movement. Again, not how he does it, just to be clear. He usually does this on a cable machine. I only have access to a band. I think it works pretty well the same. I couldn't say because I've never done it on a cable machine, but this is just what I have access to, and I do it. Again, more of a hip flexor, kind of a combo hip flexor ab exercise. I don't think there's anything wrong with having strong hip flexors, especially if you want to be, athletic, according to, at least the ATG guy, or, some of the newer stuff that's coming out. Again, you will feel this in your abs if you've never done this before. I think this actually would be a decent exercise for beginners too. Definitely want to contract your abs, and, you will feel it. Like when you're done and you try to get up, they'll be a little bit sore. So don't get it twisted that this is just going to work your hip flexors. But yeah, I really like this. And I definitely put this after my leg work just because you're using some legs here. So I try to save any energy that I have or strength in my legs for the actual leg exercises. And then I do this after, as opposed to just, sticking in line with, how I guess someone would finish out the routine, where obviously you can see I'm going from, lifting exercise to ab exercise, lifting to abs. So I just throw this once I finish my leg exercise. And then you can see doing my exercise bike, proving that I do my little 6-minute exercise bike. This is, I know it looks like I'm going slow, but this isn't actually an easy this is actually set in a higher intensity level. So it actually is working my legs a lot more than you probably think just by going on the speed. It's, again, a higher intensity level. So it's almost like a hill climb type thing. So, but it's short. It's only 6 minutes, again, just to finish off the workout. And then I finish out with a little bit of stretching. Again, don't bite my head off. I am not a flexible person, but that's just me. You can see I had to lean back here. I was like, woo. So you do feel it in the abs. But again, I hope everybody finds this, anyone who finds the video finds some of this information helpful. Again, the whole purpose is to show a whole exercise routine so that somebody could use this. Everyone does videos their own way. That's, their prerogative. I used to enjoy watching workout videos to kind of help motivate me, to go to the gym, kind of like seeing it, and that's kind of where I'm at with this, is I want, seeing somebody to do this stuff and actually see the whole thing and the whole process. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, thumbs up, like it, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Not that many people are here, but that's okay. This is a newer channel. And again, it's not going to stop me from doing the videos. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day, evening, wherever you might be, and I will see you for the next one. So I am back at the house. I just finished walking back from the gym. I figured I'd do this in here. Getting a little late at the clubhouse. Sit on the couch and usually do the after action report, or the after gym report. So I got Cleo here with me. For the most part, the workout was okay. I wouldn't say that was my, best workout or anything like that, or, it was definitely a little bit harder than expected. The tricep stuff wasn't so bad. When I got to the squats, holy crap. I think that's the first time in a long time that I've only been able to get 13. Usually I'm able to get 14 squats. So definitely only got 13, and I was struggling to get that 13. Hopefully she doesn't knock that over. Hey, you, come here, come back. Cleopatra, come. She wants to sniff I have the mic, I have the phone on the stand, and she's very inquisitive about it, so she's checking it out. Hey, you want to come sit down? Why don't you come sit down right here? There you go. Good job. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. So those squats were tough, but those are these days sometimes that you just got to work through. Like I said, I've been off for 20 days, so it's going to be a little bit to be expected, but my legs just, I guess my legs just drop off faster than other body parts, so which kind of sucks. Because the legs are a major muscle group, but yeah, I was definitely struggling in the squats. So hopefully the next go around it'll be a little bit better when I get to shoulders day and do squats. But yeah, and it was messing with my lower back too, where I have pain. So it just didn't feel that great. It didn't feel as good as before the Christmas break when I ended my last rotation, because I felt really good there. And then this one just didn't feel as good. But usually the squats that I do on triceps, they don't feel as good as towards the end. But there's nothing I can really do about it. You just work through it, you fight through it. I'm glad. I think the main thing for me is I'm glad I made it to the gym. I was tired. I made myself go. It's important to keep going. To keep, pushing yourself, overcoming the mental struggle that, is going sometimes and some people struggle with. So I know that I struggle with it. I'm happy that I was able to get that out of the way. That's pretty much it for the night. I'm going to feed the princess here, and then we are going to go outside for a brief little walk, use the potty. And it definitely got cold. It was definitely colder when I walked outside of the gym. So again, it'll be a brief little walk. But that's it for me and Cleo. We will see you guys for the next video.